Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Anton. Welcome back to another GTA 5 LSPDFR video. Today, we're going to continue to check out some of the new features in the newly released LSPDFR 0.4 update. And we're going to take a look at suspect interaction. So this specifically involves things like stopping suspects, frisking suspects, arresting suspects, and calling for police backup. So let's go take a look. Get started, I will preface by saying all of these features were already available in 0.3, all thanks to some awesome plugins, and it's great to see them implemented into 0.4. I probably would have liked to see some more thought put into the actual implementation of the features. So let's go ahead and get out. We're going to be here on Vespucci Beach. And just for the purpose of this video, I'm going to go ahead and find a random person. Obviously, when you're doing a patrol, you may be looking for something suspicious. Perhaps you're out walking about here and you saw somebody acting suspiciously, doing something they're not supposed to, but I'm just gonna go ahead and grab this guy right off his phone. So now what we can do here is we can either hold the E key, I believe, on the keyboard, but I'm gonna be using my controller here and I'm gonna be holding the D-pad right key to go ahead and stop this pedestrian right here. Sir, excuse me, stop there for me. There we go, so he just stopped for me. So great little feature now baked into 0.4 where you can go ahead and stop the suspect. Now we can start to interact with the suspect. We can also detain him, which we'll probably do in a second, and we can perform a frisk, which we'll be doing in a second as well. Hello there, sir. How you doing today? Can I please see a piece of ID? So this is the new interaction menu that also now comes up here as we start to interact with the suspect. Liam Dodds is going to be his name. Okay, Liam, hang on tight. All right, I'm just gonna get some backup. Here's another new feature that's been put into LSPDFR 0.4, and that is the backup menu. I'm going to go ahead here and bring it up. You can just press B on the keyboard, for example, and you can see there's the police backup menu, and there's a couple of different options that I'm going to walk you through so you can see exactly what sort of backup we can get. So first of all, you select your response. You can do a code 3 response, i.e. the officers will get here really quick with lights and sirens on. We can also request a police transport, which we'll talk about in just a few minutes. And there's also code 2 response, slightly less priority than code 3. So in our case, we're going to choose the code 2 response because we don't really need the officers to get here as quickly as possible. Then you can also go through all of the different agencies here. So for example, if you're playing with highway patrol, you can request a highway patrol unit to show up. You can go with some crazy new SWAT units, ask for an ambulance, ask for the sheriffs to come out. This is, of course, North Yankton Sheriff's Department there. FIB, so perhaps if this is like a terrorist attack or something that requires the FIB presence. IAA, SAPR, here comes all the acronyms again. But we are going to go with the Los Santos Police Department, and there's a couple of different options, which I also believe are customizable. You just have to dig around in the XML files. But for the purpose of this video, I just went with the vanilla plain settings. So a couple of options here. We can request an air unit, a SWAT unit, and a regular patrol unit. So let's actually go ahead and try out this air unit. I just want to see how they act and what they do. Dispatch, do we have an air unit available?
We've got units requesting.
Now, typically, you would not request an air unit probably for something like this. And even if you did request one, I'm sure they would not show up because I'm probably guessing they have better things to do. And we're also going to request a patrol unit to assist us like so. So now these officers are going to go ahead and get dispatched. Again, this is as you can hear, a code 2 priority response. So they're not necessarily in the hurriest of hurries to get over here. I do hear the helicopter, however, and I think I heard the helicopter. Yep, there they are. You can see the helicopter right there hovering above, and looks like they're just coming in here to help us out. Yes, sort of. They're having some difficulties flying the helicopter, but there they come. Looks like they have finally been able to stabilize it. So it looks like they're just going to be hovering around us here. I'm very curious to see exactly what this dynamic will do. Whoa! And the backup unit has arrived and crashed into a fence. So clearly still some AI improvements to be made, but you can see here the code 2 unit has now arrived. And we got 2 officers here helping us out. Let's take a look here. Do we see the air unit? Did they take off on us? Maybe. I want to say I hear them. but I don't see them. Maybe if I go into first person, will I get a better look here? I don't see where they are. Some of the plugins with 0.3 would actually have the air unit circling above you while they shine a spotlight, which is what I was hoping LSPDFR 0.4 would do, but I'm not seeing them anymore, so they might have just left. Maybe perhaps you need to be actually actively involved with the suspect. As a matter of fact, the patrol unit is leaving as well there, so to me it's weird, because I think that if I called the backup unit here to help me out with my stop, I would imagine they would actually stick around until I did something with the suspect. Looks like they just showed up and decided to take off, so I'm not sure if that's working as intended or there's something more to this. I will try maybe requesting a code 3 patrol unit. Let's do that. Let's try a SWAT unit just to see for variety purposes what that looks like. Obviously, you can hear a code 99 coming across the radio. They're going to be responding code 3. So let's see here how quickly the SWAT unit is able to get to us. But I'm not really liking the fact that they showed up and then they left. What if I need them? What if I just want them there for emotional support? That's very, very strange. There comes the SWAT team right here, obviously using the default cars. And that's not really the SWAT team. That is just a bunch of guys with guns. Okay, they're just a bunch of cops with guns. Hey there, hello. Thank you guys for coming out. All right, while that is happening, let's go ahead and perform a frisk. So now you can either hold Q on the keyboard or D-pad left on the controller. And once you start holding that, the suspect will turn around. And you can see there's the new frisk animation as we begin to search our suspect. In our case, we only found a piece of ID here for GMAntonZ. So nothing else on him. I have noticed in some of the previous... I had to stop there for a second because I'm not sure what he's doing or where he is going. But okay. In some of my previous frisks, I have been able to find some drugs. I don't know how much variety there is in items, nor do I think you can customize the items. I could be wrong. I still have to look into that option. But with Search Warrant, one of the plugins that I love to use, obviously you can go in and modify the file and really add a lot of different items into the game. And it looks like the police officers, again here, are about to take off. So I'm not really liking that. I would have preferred if they stayed until they were dismissed or until I'm done interacting with the suspect. All right, let's go see what else we have here. So obviously the only other option here is for us to go back to our suspect interaction menu. We can issue a citation, give him a warning, ask him to follow us, or just dismiss him and tell him to have a nice day. However, in our case, we're gonna go ahead here and actually we're gonna close this up and we're gonna hold our E key or D-pad right, and we're gonna detain the suspect and cuff him like so. There we go, he's in custody, and you actually have a brand new handcuff sound that happens now as well when you put the handcuffs in. The other new option that they added into LSPDFR 0.4, and it was available with some of the other plugins, is now to actually grab the suspect. So we'll go ahead here and press D-pad right, and you can see we shift over to the side and kind of extend our arm in this very weird fashion, almost like an alien, sort of, to grab the suspect. But there you go, we can now actually walk the suspect. Now, from what I noticed, you can't run, which is a bit of a downside, especially when you're able to, well, when you actually, for example, have to go and you have to go really far to chase the suspect, and then you have to bring them back to the vehicle. You have to be able to run with the suspect. It just speeds things up a little bit. Maybe in real life, it's not really realistic. Officers would not necessarily hold the suspect and run with them, but for the purpose of the game, it does speed things up. And unfortunately, it doesn't matter what I do, I don't think I'm actually able to run with holding the suspect, so that's not a great thing. The other thing that's a little bit cumbersome is putting suspects into vehicles, and let me demonstrate. So, unless you actually go into the interaction menu here and remotely operate your vehicle doors, if you did not want to do that, you basically have to let go of the suspect, approach the vehicle in order to open the door by pressing D-pad right, in my case here on the controller, then go back, stand behind the suspect, because you can only grab them when you're behind the suspect. Then you walk them over to the open door and press D-pad right again to have them get in, and then you can go ahead and close the door before they get out. That's another thing that I noticed. You saw it right there. He just got out. I didn't ask him to get out. I didn't press any buttons for him to get out, but he just got out. So now we have to go back and repeat the whole process. We open the door again. We go ahead and grab our suspect again, like that. We bring him back to the open door again. We put him inside the vehicle again. Then we rush really quickly to close the door. Close the door. Yes, he's in. Finally. So I don't know if that's a bug Why they get out, I've noticed that a couple of times. You have to be kind of quick to close the door, but you can see there he got out very quickly the first time. So now he's inside the vehicle, you're done, and you're ready to transport the suspect. So you think, okay, let me go back into the backup menu because we did have this transport option. There we go, transport. You can request a different agency. So again, maybe, and this is actually a cool feature. Maybe this is a terrorist and you want the FIB to come pick him up. Okay, there's no eligible units right now. Okay, no problem. So you know what? Let's go back to, no, let's not pull him out of the vehicle here. Let's not pull him out of the vehicle. You can see here a bit of a conflict with actually working the menu and having the suspect sitting right next to you. Let me go ahead and just grab him again. I want to put him back in the car because I want to demonstrate this this to you. Let me just go ahead and throw him back in the vehicle and quickly close the door. There we go. All right, let me step away from the car so I don't actually get into an option here with all of the conflicts. So, transport, perfect. Let's go ahead and select LSPD, which is the Los Santos Police Department. And then it tells you that there are currently no suspects awaiting transportation. So what is that all about? Because we clearly have a suspect in custody. He is in the back of the cruiser. We just need an officer to come out and pick him up, but nothing is available. So this is the part that I don't really like, and I don't understand why they couldn't make it available. In order for you to transport the suspect, he has to be sitting on the ground. That's the only time the suspect works. And you can see the message coming up right there. Arrested suspects need to be placed on the ground sitting. And I don't understand. It baffles the mind why I cannot ask for transport while they're still inside the vehicle. So now we got to go ahead, pull him out of the car like we did earlier by accident. There. Now we have to basically get him to sit down. And you can see he keeps turning around on me. Stop doing that. I noticed that too. They keep turning around sometimes because we have to be behind him. And you can see there, once I get behind him, we can now press the D-pad left to set the suspect down, and we can perform a frisk again. Obviously, I've already searched him, so we can just go ahead and set him down right now. So he will get on the ground. Now, we can go ahead and get back into our backup menu, like so, and all of a sudden, all of these units are now available because we can actually get them to come and transport our suspect. And I think you might have to make modifications to the files here in order to actually put in FIB units and other units. The default ones, in this case LSPD, are working. So let's go ahead and ask for an LSPD transport unit. Dispatch 3 Adam 10 requesting a 1091 to Gomez Street. So we're going to go ahead and request a backup unit here, and they will send a transport unit out to us who will pick up the suspect. So a little cumbersome. I'm sorry, but it is. It's just a little cumbersome. I wish you can ask for transport unit while he's in the back of the cruiser, or maybe if he's standing in front of the cruiser. I don't understand why you can only ask for a backup or for a transport rather, while he's sitting on the ground. So there they come. They're just arriving on scene. The transport AI, from what I can see, has not improved much. I'm still noticing some very odd driving, very odd parking jobs, you can see right there. I would have liked him to maybe pull up behind me instead. He's now going to go ahead and grab the suspect, so that's the new mechanic that has been put into LSPDFR 0.4. And let's watch here what he does. He's going to go ahead and walk him over. So it looks like he just left the suspect there. He's going to open the door. Now he's going to hope to go back and grab the suspect, or he's telling him to get in and stay quiet. Okay, there we go. So the suspect has gotten in. He's in there. The door has been closed, and the transport unit is taken off. There you have it, and they're gone. And managed to almost run somebody over, and now he's just driving on the boardwalk. So again, some AI improvements would have been better here for the transport unit. The other thing that you will notice here, I'm going to bring up my backup menu again. There are different agencies you can request. So we can, for example, code 3 right now. We can go ahead and switch to no agencies, so you can see all of the units that are available. So we can request some patrol units, SWAT teams. We can also request an EMS unit. So if, for example, one of these suspects were dead, and I'll just demonstrate this. No cop should do this, but of course I will do it here for the purposes of the video. Like that. We can now go ahead here, get into our menu. Dispatch requesting a 1052. We had a bit of an accident here on Gomez Street. So we're going to go ahead now, request a ambulance to show up here, code 3. And they'll get here as fast as possible. And I think the ambulance also comes up here under the Los Santos Fire Department. I have to go back into the files and take a look to see if you can actually put in other vehicles. For example, like a fire truck. So if we had a fire, I wonder if you can request the fire department to come? Something tells me no, because I don't think they've actually been coded into the mod to do anything. You can see here there's been some coding put into LSPDFR 0.4 to basically try and revive the suspect. So this is something like ultimate backup, or back in the day when I also used better EMS. That is the plugins that would actually have paramedics come out and try to attend to the suspect or a victim and try to revive them. So you can see there the paramedic now almost finished. So looks like the suspect did not make it. And we're gonna wait here for the final report to come in. You can see right there he's just filling out that final report. So we'll wait for that final report to arrive, because here the next course of action, of course, would be to go ahead and call medical examiner. We need the coroner to come out and pick up the dead body, right? So the paramedics are walking away. They have completed their report. I don't believe we actually get anything on our screen to confirm whether or not the suspect is dead or why he died. I mean, obviously we know why he died in our case, but now we need to call the coroner. However, when I go into the backup menu to ask for the coroner, there's no such option. So again, that is something that was available to us back in 0.3 with all of the different plugins. For example, you can get a coroner to come out. I believe Albo had that programmed into one of his plugins. Bajoljo had that in Ultimate Backup, I believe, or perhaps even Stop the Ped, one of those two. So there were different plugins here that would allow you for a coroner to come out and actually clean up and remove the body. Because those plugins are not yet available for LSPDFR 0.4, there's no option within the actual core plugin to request a coroner. So we're kind of stuck with just basically leaving. There's nothing we can do here. That's it. That's just leave him here and hope that somebody else cleans up, basically. So there you go. Those are some of the options here in terms of interacting with suspects and frisking them and calling for backup units. You can see steps in the right direction. However, I wish there was more. I wish there was more thought put into it. I wish the implementation was a little bit better. I wish, for example, the police units would not just take off on you. I wish the helicopter would circle above you until you give them an all clear. Yes, it's a step in the right direction, but I just don't think it's enough. I don't think these features are necessarily enough. And yet again, we need to rely on plugins in order to bring them full circle. So there you go. I guess it is what it is, right? What are you gonna do? Oh well, LSPDFR 0.4. Hey, thanks for watching another video. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to smash that like button. Check out some more videos here on the channel. Why not? And I will see you on the next one. Bye!